all this fear and uncertainty is by design to keep you out the market, to scare you, to make you sell your Bitcoin, to make you give up. And that's exactly what I think you should avoid. And me personally, I'm holding the line, I'm doubling down, I'm buying all the Ethereum dips and Bitcoin dips every single day, and I'm preparing new long trades on Ethereum and on Bitcoin as I discussed in today's video. Alright guys, welcome to a new video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the ring bell so you don't miss any important updates or tutorials. As always, I have my black tea today and also have my fennel tea, so get a drink yourself. Leave a like for the algorithm, I would really appreciate this. And now let's get right away. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been subscribing recently. We now have over 3,110 subscribers, and the last video really is especially a must watch. So if you missed the last video, definitely watch this video. First of all, exactly after the last video, we had the Nvidia earnings, which actually turned out to be better than expected. The earnings per share forecast was better, and also revenue, but as we also anticipated in the last video, this did not change much on Bitcoin. Now, unfortunately, the stock market right now is having a big correction, and Bitcoin is getting dragged down together with the stock market, because sadly, Bitcoin is now more and more correlated with Bitcoin, because ever since we have all the ETFs, Bitcoin is no longer in its own corner, but now it's essentially in the flow and like a play ball of the institutions, just like also gold, silver, commodities, and all the stocks. All of Twitter is talking about the rate cuts, which are coming up in less than 2 weeks, which will be either a 0.25% rate cut or a 0.5% rate cut. I don't think this will make a huge difference because, number one, these impacts take a long time to fundamentally change anything in the market, and number two, there's way too much neediness and hype on those events. That's why also I think this will be most likely a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And just like also with the Nvidia earnings, this will not change much. The only thing which is good right now about Bitcoin is that statistically we are perfectly still on track about the halving. So from a cycle perspective and statistically, we are right now expecting still another big rise up, especially after September, because September statistically also is more like a bearish month, but specifically October, November, December, and Q1 of next year should be mostly bullish. This means that we have to persist through this month, and then only starting next month, we have the tailwind of the statistics behind our back. Furthermore, another good indicator is that the stable coins are still increasing more and more and more. Now, as you know, the stable coins are like a bridge from fiat currency, like the pound, euro, dollar, into crypto. And the more stable coins we have in circulation, the more Bitcoin can be purchased. Now, as long as the stablecoin market cap is increasing, this is still bullish tailwind, especially when we have more buying pressure from retail and also from institutions, because so far we actually had mostly outflows now on the ETFs. But this does not matter too much, because this year only becomes relevant when we have big, massive inflows day after day. Then we have a clear trend shift. For now, whatever is happening here is not important. Same thing with the Ethereum ETFs. The Ethereum ETFs will only awaken once the Bitcoin ETFs really have massive inflows. Then the big investors will chase new returns on Ethereum, which of course is the second biggest. So unless something big is happening with Bitcoin, the Ethereum ETFs will be mostly dead. Now on BlackRock, we don't have any outflows so far, and only on Fidelity, we have big outflows, $162 million just on the 3rd of September. Now this is funny because Fidelity is a different word for loyalty, and of course this here is not loyal to Bitcoin. But on a different note, also Grayscale is dumping Bitcoin, but to be honest, at these massive high fees, I am not surprised, and I would also dump myself Bitcoin more and more. And that's also why in the long run, I think Grayscale actually will be a smaller player. Also, I said this before, but I have to say it again. Statistically, we actually need more retail interest here for the bull run to be over, because typically the retailers are the ones which are getting dumped on. So unless we have massive retail interest on Google Trend, on the searches, on the regular news, there's not enough retail to dump on. Right now it's the opposite. All the market makers actually want retail to be out the market, to be giving up, to be in total fear, which actually has been in fear since basically last month, last week, yesterday, and today. Now by design, everyone has to be in fear. Everyone must leave the market, and only then we can pump up statistically in October, November, December, and Q1, and then we can activate retail, we can go in the news, we can go on YouTube, we can go on social media, and then we will see that your friends, your mom, your uncle, everyone will ask you about Bitcoin, and they will buy at 80K, 90K, 100K, or even higher, the trend here will go up, and then they are exit liquidity. And because statistically we are on track with the cycle, especially also starting in October, we should see lots of tailwind just purely statistically. Now let's dive in the Bitcoin chart. We will start with the weekly chart. Now this means that every single candle is 1 week. On the weekly chart, we still look more bearish than bullish. Why? Because we have lower highs on the price and we also have lower lows. Now because we have a lower high here, this also statistically gives us a lower low prediction of a 60-40 chance. This area right here from the 50 until this wick right here seems like a very good area for a low leverage swing position that you can ride up all the way and get more profits as we go higher. Even worst case, if we just get a small pump up here, you can take partial profits or even small profits, and statistically, you have a very, very good entry in this market structure. Next, on the one-day chart, last time we discussed the rising pennant, which actually has a 60% chance of breaking down, 40% chance of breaking up. And we did get the breakdown right here, and we had a very lousy, disgusting retest. So right now, this price action is actually very bad to trade on the one-day chart. But right now, from a structural perspective, the bias actually is still more down than up because we have all this wick to fill right here, and we can easily have also a lower low on the price somewhere from here to here, a lower low with a higher low on the RSI, and this also will give you another 60-40 setup as a swing trade on the daily chart. Now let's zoom in on the 4-hour chart, because yesterday night we had a nice pattern. We had the retracing wicks pattern on the 21. Now this also is an 80-20 setup. If you don't know this setup, you can watch this video right here. And the good news is also, you don't have to wait many hours and days and weeks on Bitcoin to trade this pattern. You can trade this every single day on Pepe, on the 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart, 3 and 6-minute chart, which is what I do and the Discord community. So you can also learn this pattern yourself and trade this all the time without waiting too much time on the chart. This pattern worked perfectly and we came down lower. On the 1-hour chart on Bitcoin, we are attempting now, right now live, a bullish regular divergence. This means that we have a lower low on the price, but the RSI actually makes a higher low. However, we don't have a bottom wick on this bullish candle. That's why I would not trust this yet this much. Also, we still have a wick right here, which we could pick up right there. That's why, in my opinion, right now, this would be a very risky entry. And at best, this would be a 55-45 until we either fill this wick or until we have another bullish candle with a bottom wick. Then we have a true 60-40 setup here on Bitcoin on the 1-hour chart. Next, let's talk about Ethereum, our lost child, which actually had the breakdown from this bear flag. And as you know, a bear flag has a 60% chance of breaking down, 40% chance breaking up. If you're on Discord, you also know that I bought Ethereum at 2,500, 400, 300, and I'm willing to buy Ethereum more also at 2,200 and 2,000 right here, because I believe that Ethereum is a very good risk reward, because if we come to the range high of Ethereum of this region, we would have a return of 73% on spot, and on Bitcoin, if we come to the range high of this region, we would only get a 31%. That's why I think Ethereum right now is still a good buy for the long term if you are patient and if you are high risk. Because just structurally speaking and fundamentally speaking, in September, we have still more downside to, like I said, all these levels and worst case scenarios, even this target right here. Right now, I see a very, very good opportunity on Ethereum to open a low leverage swing position. Why? Because most likely we will have either an equal or a lower low on Ethereum somewhere in this region with a way higher low on the RSI. And this also gives us a statistical 60-40 chance here for a swing trade. And from a market structure perspective, we have a lot of upside and not that much downside. That's why this would be actually a very smart swing long, and that's what I'm preparing for right now and waiting. And that's also why I have here, for example, the Ethereum 4-hour chart and 1-hour chart to get my entry on this swing long. For everyone who missed the live stream last weekend, I made a new channel now on Discord right here, where you can watch actually all the recordings from the live streams of the new scalping setups. And if you haven't already, you can also finish the bootcamp right here. It's a free 7-day bootcamp where you essentially go from beginner to intermediate. As a reminder, all this fear and uncertainty is by design to keep you out the market, to scare you, to make you sell your Bitcoin, to make you give up. Until then, we finally can go up, and then you try to chase Bitcoin at 80K, 90K, 100K, and even higher. And that's exactly what I think you should avoid. And me personally, I'm holding the line, I'm doubling down, I'm buying all the Ethereum dips and Bitcoin dips every single day, and I'm preparing new long trades on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, as I discussed in today's video. If you want to build your capital systematically every single day, you can watch this video right here. It's definitely a must-watch video, and also watch this video. This way, no matter what happens, you can make money every single day at your own pace. Comment your questions and feedback, because I will read and reply to all comments and help you out with all my heart. Thank you once again for your intense support. I will see you in the next video. Much peace and love, and ciao.